Back. Thank you for staying with Checkpoint. Now, the powerful billionaire club dubbed the Mount Kenya Foundation earlier this week hosted former Prime Minister Raila Odinga in what appeared like an endorsement for a man they previously opposed to become the country's chief executive. But what are the strings attached to their support in the event they end up backing him to succeed President Uhuru Kenyatta? Just how is a Raila 2022 presidential candidature likely to redefine the Lakeside Mount Kenya political relations? Our senior political affairs reporter Murimi Mwangi interrogates this on this week's House of Cards.
If the Kenyan politics were a mythical childhood film, then in the Mount Kenya political cast would have been a consistent Mr. Boogeyman, at whose mention of name the region has been consistently whipped back to order. Former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga.
I am not talking about laws. I am talking about a specific man by the name of Raila Amolo Odinga who does not want peace for this nation. And that is not hate speech. I am describing a person. Hata nikimweta Kimondo, Nation leo mumesema is a bully. That is what the man is, a bully.
But turns out the ODM leader was not a bad man after all. On Tuesday, Odinga was the chief guest at a luncheon hosted by Mount Kenya billionaires under the Mount Kenya Foundation, giving the clearest indication yet that Odinga could be the group's preferred candidate to succeed President Uhuru Kenyatta. A rather peculiar twist of fate for the perpetually rival yet politically decisive Mount Kenya and Nyanza regions, less than a year to the polls.
While it is important to have cessation of hostilities across the board, the most preeminent one in this country has always been between the Kikuyu and the Luo. That is it, and everyone knows that. So if you can reduce those hostilities between those two tribes, you generally help reduce hostilities across the board.
It has created acceptance for Baba. You know, previously the current candidate was indicating that you cannot easily sell Baba in Mount Kenya region. Some of them even made a mention and said it's like selling pig in Saudi Arabia. But he went all the way from Laikipia and he climbed down the mountain.
Yet with obvious survival interests in the billionaires club, deeply rooted in government operations, could Odinga, a man whose politics has revolved around push for social justice reforms, become hostage of the group if eventually elected president?
Raila does not need to be a project of anybody. Raila was elected. The election was taken away from him. That is the fact. So what we want now is the so-called deep state being talked about is to keep off from people's elections.
In politics generally, the only consideration is interests. Those who are exiting the presidential seat, they are looking at who will protect their interests better. And sometimes it's not even about the person who is exiting as the president. It is about the people who have been holding that presidency.
There is not a single thing other than political competition that Raila has had against the Mount Kenya people. He has never pushed, he has never interfered with their businesses. He has never chased away their people from, even in Nyanza where we are. Look at the people who have worked in his office, even people who are still working for him in his office. To date, people he has trusted. And unknown to you, by the way, his main bankers are actually banks that are run by the people from Mount Kenya region.
Deputy President William Ruto were riding on his double support of Kenyatta's 2013 and 2017 presidential bids, has been traversing the Mount Kenya region marketing the hustler's political narrative, a strategy seemingly aimed at portraying Odinga's candidature as a state project.
Majority of people who participate in elections in Kenya are not the elites. The people you may call system, which was there before called system. If you try to write down the names of those system guys, and they actually go to the polls, you have seen there before, they have lost terribly, even here in Kenya.
There is a question of creating credibility on the part of Raila Odinga with the people in the region who are skeptical or have been skeptical about his intentions. So now it appears as if that skepticism is being eroded gradually.
Mount Kenya is projected to have 7 million plus votes basket by the 2022 polls, as questions linger on whether it will retain its massive voter turnout without a strong presidential candidate from the region. Among those on the mountain eyeing the presidency is National Assembly Speaker Justin Muturi, businessman Jimmy Wanjigi, and Murang'a Governor Mwangi wa Iria, while a separate axis comprising former Cabinet Secretary Mwangi Kionjori, Gatundu South Legislator Moses Kuria, and NARC Kenya leader Martha Karua, doubling up as its spokesperson, is yet to announce its political direction. But as they say, a single day is a long time in politics, and no doubt the region will remain in sharp focus as the 2022 countdown continues. Muremi Mwangi, KTN News.